Generic greetings and welcome to Parkitect. Today's beverage is a very nice but also exceedingly rich chocolate fudge brownie vegan milkshake. It was in the bargain bin, as we say in the UK, basically highly discounted to be used by today. So I thought I would pick one up, and it's very nice but also very, very rich and decadent indeed. Either way, welcome to Parkitect. This is the theme park building game that I honestly think is underappreciated and underrepresented, but there you are. And this video is going to be a bit different from the other ones on the channel. It's going to be very rambly, but also pretty much serve as a bit of a show and tell, because this park is something that myself and a couple of mates had created over the course of several sessions, maybe 10 to 12 hours put in this one. So if that's not your sort of video, then no harm no foul, feel free to move on and check something else out. There are plenty of other things I'm sure for you to catch up on, but if you want to stick around and see what we've created and critique it and have a bit of a laugh over our misfortune and what we've messed up and things like that, then, you know, maybe this is of some interest. So the story goes that over the course of my YouTube break, I was playing several games, naturally, some new, some old, and just, you know, generally just playing stuff and not having to worry about making videos, whether it was viable, etc. And I realised that a lot of the games I was playing, especially with friends, were not overly chill, shall we say. So it's things like competitive shooters, Rainbow Six Siege, Hell Let Loose, etc. A lot of 4X strategy games like Stellaris, Hearts of Iron, Gladius, and whatnot. So things that you really need to focus on and pay attention, and not something you can just sort of kick your boots off and relax with a beverage with. So we wanted something that was fairly chill, and I'd been wanting to get back into the game for a while, so I did suggest this to a couple of friends, and to my surprise, they were quite game for it. They said, yeah, why not? They'd not even heard about the game before, but the prospect of building a theme park was quite appealing because it was fairly relaxing and you can do it co-op, etc. So yeah, I thought we'd sort of jump on it and try it, and yeah, this is what we have ended up with. When the game first launched, and when I originally played it, it didn't have multiplayer. When you load the game in now, it does say multiplayer beta, so I think they're still working on it. But either way, you can play it up to 8 players, I believe, co-op. And it is fully co-op. Everybody has things synced, so like all of the guests, all of the janitors, they can build everything and do pathing and alter the terrain. There has been some desyncs, but for the most part, it has just worked, so that is fine. So this is the park that we have created. It was originally called, I think, just Fantasy Park, just one of the scenarios in the game. However, this is now named, as you may imagine, the Generic Attractions Compound. We have a certain number of goals if you need any other than just play and enjoy the game, but the goals for this park are have at least 1,992 guests. Very specific number of guests, but we have achieved that at some point in the past because we got all of the goals done. Currently the park has only have 1,380 people because, well, I haven't built anything in a while. Have a happiness rating of at least 90%, that's done. Have no loan debts, that took quite a while to do because we took loans out to build things, more on that later. Sell at least 2,000 park tickets, which we have done. So this is a park that's not free to enter, but it's very cheap. It's only 4 generic units of currency to enter, and then the rides where we are charging for entry. So you can make a park that's say free to enter, and then you charge on the rides, or a park that has a bit of a mix like we've done, or ones that maybe you pay a set amount, like say 50 generic units of currency at the door. Everything else is free apart from food, but you can alter pretty much everything in the game when it comes to like the pricing and inventory, and look, I mean, you can alter like how much sugar's in things and all sorts. You can really alter things in the game, which is fairly neat. Excuse me. So, what happened originally is we load this thing up and we are presented with this little castle at the front here, and then we split it off into 3 sections. We're going to call it the left, to the top, and then to the right there, and that's what we did. And one person took the right, someone took up the top here, and then I went on the left, and then eventually it all just mixed up and we did a bit of everything, but there you go. So we're going to start on the right hand side. So we come in here and we have some toilets, which is immediately bad because we realise that when it comes to decoration, people don't like to see a couple of things. They don't like to see trash, they don't like to see puke on the floor, they don't like to see the toilets in visual range, so they're like a corner on it, so you can't just look at the front of it. And they certainly don't like to see the workings of things, so they don't like to see all of these depots and such, and this is something that we had to relearn. So one of the things with the game is you have to supply supplies to all of the shops. So balloons to the balloon shop, food to like the turkey leg shop, and souvenirs to the souvenirs shop. And the way you do that is by hauling it from this location in here. You can't actually see it because we've bricked it off, but under here there is a... Can I just alter the visualizations? There you go. So this is our like warehouse here. This is our depot. This is where everything is stored. You can see all of like the rubbish and stuff. So we need to haul that, and hauling it through here is not a great idea. So what you have is like a chute system where it goes underground and it just sort of ships it that way. So we set that up. We have this... oh, there you go. It's actually just delivered some stuff there, and this guy's going to pick it up and then deliver it. Look at all these balloons are simulated. The frame rate is not overly high on this one because my aging machine generic computational device is struggling at this stage with this game, with this amount of people in the full simulation, because all these people are simulated. You can see what they've been going on and where they've been going and all of their stats and stuff. Yeah, quite taxing at times, and I've actually loaded the graphics to get this frame rate, but there you are. Anyway, we've got this little compound here where you've got like food and drink and whatnot, and then over on the right hand side we actually have some attractions. So this was a sort of fairly chill zone. So we've got like the magic carpet, the wave swinger, which is just like some chair swings, the spiral slide, the teacups, and the classic carousel. Each of these you can customize pretty much everything. So you can customize like the color, the time on the rides, the music that's on there. You can even import your own music, and they have different ratings. So the majority of the rides that you can just place down have set ratings for excitement, intensity, and nausea. So for example, this spiral slide here has an excitement rating of 23.1, which is low, intensity of 10, which is low, and nausea, which is 5, and then very low. The decoration and the time, the duration, should I say, that can alter based on like how many goals they get on it and things like that, but the decoration is based on literally the decoration you place around it, so that can go from low to really, really good. I think you get it to amazing, in fact. Oh, there you go, someone's really enjoying that. They've got the hands as they slide down, and yeah, they'll get off that. Did they like that? That's Randall Robinson, and I hope Spiral Slide will be worth the long queue time. Yeah, I think they've enjoyed that. Their preferred ride is low to very high. They are patient, cheerful, tidy, and stingy, apparently, so they don't like paying for rides. So anyway, over on the right here, as you can see, we have this nice little wooded area. This is something that a friend made pretty much solo. We did help out and stuff, but yeah, they've made this all solo and put a lot of bedding plants in and a lot of these trees. So it's very green spacey, very nice to look at, and it's quite a nice place to be in. And I like all of the bushes and the vines and stuff around here. It makes it very, very nice. It also increases the decoration rating to at least medium for most of these rides. So it's quite nice, quite open as well, quite light. So yeah, very happy with that. And it's considering they've never played the game before, they've done a very good job. And we've also got these flower beds here as well. Interestingly, on the right hand side we have the monorail, which is now called the Money Rail, because quite frankly it's made a ridiculous amount of money. In fact, it's got total profit of 31,000 generic units of currency, and that was curious because at the time when we made this, we had to take a loan out, I believe, because we were getting... Well, we were skint. We had no money whatsoever, and we'd only really made a couple of rides in these go-karts, and we were just waiting for the money to come in. So we took a loan out to try and build a coaster, and then a lot of that money was then immediately spent, because we didn't realise they were building it, on this monorail here. And the money rail... so named because it's made loads of money now, we didn't think was going to be successful, because it is inevitably it was a low intensity ride. We knew it was going to be low intensity because, as you can see, it's just these little carts with 2 people on each one, and the cars go up, across. All you're seeing over here is a bit of a fence, some waterways and other attractions, and some wooded area around here, over the go-karts, and then back. That's it. That's all that happens. But because of that, because they can see all of these other rides, the excitement was high, intensity low, nausea very low, and the decoration was immediately high because it went over all of the other decorations. So because of that, it immediately became a massive fan favourite, and everybody in the park tend to flock towards it. In fact, it's currently set to 12 generic units of currency per ticket, and people are still going on it, so they're really enjoying it. So yeah, pretty happy with that. That is the money rail, making lots and lots of money. Speaking of money, we also have another area over here where we're selling burgers and soft drinks and souvenirs. Souvenirs tend to be quite good. You can see you can change things like sombreros and like what you're selling. So we got an absurdly large sombrero, absurdly large cowboy hat, tricorns, pirate hat, etc. And the amount of money it's made. So this thing's made 3.2 grand profit. Up the top here, we have the neck breaker. Now, this is an interesting one. This is the first coaster that a friend made. And, well, it's just about to take off. Let's have a look at it. So we're going to spin around, and we'll click on James McLean here, so we can keep an eye on them and see what they are doing. So they're currently sitting on the ride waiting for other people to come in. I think this needs to be half full before it sets off. Their favourite attraction is the Monorail Original, which is I think on the left hand side. We'll get to that. And oh, here we go, it's now setting off. This is the flying coaster, I believe. There's many different types of coasters in the game. They really want to go on the neck breaker, but they've had loads of soft drinks. So they've had soft drinks, hot dogs and hot dogs. Interesting. The preferred ride intensity is low to medium, and the intensity for this thing is intensity is high, so I don't know how they're going to fare, but let's just see. So we're following them here, and we can see it comes along up to the top and then just goes past this big tower. This tower is I think a gyro dropper, and this thing is already, look at that, we've got double inversions and then really sharp, and then round there, oh good grief, the nausea is flying up, and then up and round. None of these are curved. Sorry, they're curved round, but they're not banked over, so it's sharp, round, and then break. And there you go. So their happiness has gone down. Their immersion's gone up, their hunger and thirst has gone up. But their nausea rating has actually gone down a bit, so they quite enjoyed that, I guess, so that's pretty good. Anyway, that is the neck breaker. Originally called that because it had several different loops, lots of vertical drops and other things, and really sharp turns. And I think the original one that it rated at was excitement medium, intensity was like ultra extreme, off the charts type of thing, nausea was similar, and decoration was like low or medium. So basically not something that you really want to spend a lot of money on, and considering $7 grand was spent on building it, it was a bit of a money sink. But yeah, after about several retrofits, we've got it to something that's reasonable here. Every coaster, certainly in the game, you can check out the vertical G-forces and the lateral. I think lateral is the big problem this thing has, because, yeah, it's very sharp around here. You want it to curve round, so that's a 1.8, it's nearly 2 Gs of lateral G-force. These are in the negative as well, so you really don't want that, and longitudinal as well. Yeah, okay, so you can check all this out, and the more we've played, the more we've got used to all of these. But there you go, that's the neck breaker. So satisfaction is 71%. So yeah, for the first coaster, not too bad. Over here we have, oh, as I mentioned, the what's that, the gyro drop tower, yeah, and we have this thing here, which is the Skyfall. So it just comes up, and then I think these sort of will curve inwards, and then it'll drop. And then we also have a couple of these 4D cinemas and haunted housings. Now, what I didn't know is that each scenario has like different biomes, essentially, and different weather patterns. So this is quite a sunny, warm place for the most part, right until when it starts the rainy season. It's currently 14 October, 8 degrees C, so quite chilly. But there's also a lot of rain that this map receives. So one of the things that's in the game is things like the haunted house, where it gets increased popularity during the rain and low temperatures. So when the temperature drops, or when it starts to rain, like now for example, it's only 8 degrees C and cold, a lot of people will prefer to go on the haunted house, which is when what you do is you put the price up to maybe 10 generic units. Yes, we have been a little bit cheeky on that front, and micromanage the pricing on that. I'm going to put that back down because it doesn't seem fair. We've got 5 guests on the ride and 13 in the queue. That queue will fill up, especially considering we have some awnings above the cube, which means if you check over on your where is it, our I think, is it rain protection? Yeah, you can see the rain protection. So people like this one, and this one, because it's got rain protection. Also, they like these because, again, rain protection. So yeah, all of this is simulated, which I think is brilliant. Anyway, we have our, like I say, haunted house and 4D cinema there. Back over to the centre, and we're going to go up now, and we have a couple of interesting rides. These are the first rides that another friend placed down, and they went with the extreme level. So over here, it was fairly sedate, fairly chill. I should also point out, in the rain, all the lights come on. It looks absolutely brilliant. Yeah, and over here, we can see all of these lights. All of these lights you can change the colour of, they can change the music, etc. There's loads of options for that, and the paint as well. There we go. Come back. You can also click on that and change it to nighttime if you want to see what it looks like at night, which is very pretty indeed. I've actually reduced the graphics down. I think I might have mentioned at the start, just to get some better frame rate for this video. So this is the Puke Master 5 million. I think it was called, What was that called originally? It is called, if we check out here, Extreme Rides, it is the Turbulon. That's what it is there. We've already got one of those. The excitement, intensity, and nausea are all set to high, and people really, really like that. You can see no one's on it at the moment because it's been raining, so they really don't want to go on that when it's raining. But this one, it's made bank. It's made total profit 46,853 generic units of currency. A lot of money. This thing as well, this is the lunch evacuator, and this has a similar profit of 22,000, nearly 23,000, which is good. We then went with this water area in the middle. I think it had a little bit of water, but we extended it and had like a bridge going across, and we've got the paddle it yourself, which is the paddle boat. So you can change it to swan boats or the paddle boats. We went with paddle boats just to keep it a bit more neutral. And this is something that I made, and it actually started making a decent amount of money. It's only made $2,000, but it's good when the sun comes out, and people tend to quite like it. Obviously, based on the weather and the moods and the type of people that you get, you will have to micro the prices and alter the rides you make. We then have more of a staff area over here, where we've got like a staff training room. You've got like the break room, and like again, let's say more souvenirs, information desks, and all of that sort of thing. A couple more extreme rides. You've got G-Lock there, and we have the Enterprise, which is one of those ones where it spins and you sort of fling out. Yeah, all the standard affair that you may have seen in different parks. We have over on the right, we have we have the Totally Log Fuming ride, and that is a very high excitement, low intensity, very low nausea, high decoration ride, increased popularity during high temperatures. So not 8 degrees C when it's overcast. However, it's still made a bit of money, it's still in profit there, and that's a relatively new thing as well. I just realised that Bob's Lead Coaster is on the go. Let's follow Annie Crane here. I was about to pick them up, but there you go. This is the bobsled coaster because it's a bobsled coaster. You see what they've done there. Very smart. And I believe it spends half its life underground. So we're going to go down here. And underground, it's going to spin round and around and around and around again. And then it comes up, still underground, and then up, still underground, and finally up to the top. And almost goes over there. We had luckily done a couple of tests when we originally made this, and people were flying off this corner because they used to come down a big chute and just fly straight off that thing. So yeah, that can happen. We do have our monorail in here. This is Monica Rail. She's in competition with Monorail Original, and there's a bit of there's something going on between the two. We really don't want to discuss it. It's currently in the courts. So yeah, we've got two monorails. Well, we'll follow the monorails later on because, quite frankly, we've got enough to get on with. So in the centre here, as you can see, we've got this nice little path. We were originally going to build over here, but now that we completed the scenario, we thought we'll start again knowing what we now know. We've got this thing here, which is Power Surge, and quite frankly, it looks like it was going to shear off at this level here at any moment, but there you are. And then this thing was my creation. Here we go. This is Outer Worlds, and it is a vertical drop coaster. So as you can see, we'll follow a person here. We'll bring it down to there, and then it grabs on to the edge. This is the break there, and then they're looking down, and it's like, oh dearie me. And there they go. They go underground, and you can't see where they go. Originally, I think this is on its 3rd or 4th revision. It would go underground, it would come back up. I'm going to have to spin the camera around. It would come back up here, it would come out of this area here. I've actually bricked it up, and then do another couple of loops and back, and the rating was terrible. The current excitement is very high, intensity is very high, and nausea low, which is what you really want. That's like almost a perfect thing, but total profit is still only 16 because I spent a ridiculous amount of cash making this thing and had to redesign it about 1 million times. Was far too ambitious with it. Anyway, let's actually follow some person here. So this is Christopher McKay, and they are on Outer Worlds. They really like, let's have a quick look, the low to extreme ratings. So it's going to hang there for a while, and then it goes underground, and then it does a sort of spiral around, and it's just a nice gentle curve all the way around, and then sort of curves that way as well. So there's nothing extreme about that, and then it comes up here right in the middle of the lake with lots of smoke and all of that, and then sort of hangs around, and then here we go, and we go back underground and then curve around a bit. It's a little bit harsher than I expected, but I had to sort of retrofit this because there was loops in it at the time, and then it comes back in here. So yeah, that was the outer Outer Worlds, and obviously I've put some of these like sci-fi mushroomy type things in, and these weird towers and rockets and stuff, but because of that we have a decoration of medium. I've also got on-ride photos as well. The on-ride photo stuff I did mess up a bit. It's something I didn't really know until like checking out wikis and stuff. Similar thing for like these. And so in photo spots, you want to put them where the decoration's high. So that's this actually looks really nice at night if we change this over at night, because all these lights slowly pop on. And yeah, that looks really... Look at that. I mean, that's nice, but... Wow, that's really nice. I really like that. Cool. Okay, so that is another coaster over here. Let's just put it back to daytime so we can see where we are. Going to go back down to the centre here and then over to the left. So this is the first thing that I made. This was the go-karts, and I thought I want to make something like go-karts because it's the first time you can really test out the actual building. The way you build, I'll show you towards the latter part of the video if you're not aware. But you build it with each individual section, so you place these in, you put the corners in, all of that sort of thing. So I thought I'd make this thing so it just goes around, sort of curves. We'll probably have a look at someone on the go-karts in a minute, and then it goes underground to the other side. And this cost us a fairly decent amount of money at the time. It might have cost maybe a quarter of the total amount of money that we had. But it was money well spent because it's currently made a profit of 107,000. Total revenue is 126. So yeah, construction cost. Oh, hang on, let me pause a second. Oh, too late. Well, we're going to follow Harold Williams here, who was currently in the lead. They are taking the first corner on the inside. They have just been overtaken on the second corner, coming back into the S chicane on their harsh right hand side, up and round, and they're getting outpaced by number 5 there. Number 11 on Harold is taking another I'm not right, okay, we're going to stop that now. Another harsh corner on the right hand side, and they are still in the lead. They are now going to take a couple of hairpins on that one, and then right underground, a sharp corner there. It's going to sort of go around a little bit, come back up the top, and looks like they are... Oh, are they going to get... I think they might lose this, and... It looks like they've lost it at the very last minute. The very last minute, it seems that Tanya Quinn has taken pole position, and they come in on second, followed by Forrest here on Kelly on the third one. Not bad at all. Anyway, that's go-karts. It's people really like it. People really like it indeed. You can see there's some forces that are not overly desirable, but it's fine. It's not too harsh at all. Obviously, we've got the cash machines right next to it and lots of food. We originally had the same again on the other side, or maybe it went even further, and we lost so much money because we massively overdid that. We have a toilet block here, which you can't really see because we put some roofs on it, but if I just come over here, we can probably just remove those, and you can see, yeah, there's toilets in there. It is very simple and very quick to make something that looks semi-decent in the game, unlike, say, Planet Coaster, which takes you a decade to make something that looks like an explosion in a forest. But there you are. Another extreme ride here. This is Top Scan. It's not bad. And then we have the two competing monorails. So we have Monorail Original, originally called Monorail, and then Monaco Rail, which came in later on. Monorail Original goes up and round. It goes up to the left and round. It does a bit of a curve here and stop literally like 30 feet, I think. No, maybe a couple of 100 feet. Other units of measurement are available. A couple of maybe a couple 100 meters away. Yeah, you can actually walk from the entrances quicker than getting on it and going round. It is completely and utterly pointless, but this wasn't in originally because there was another ride here, so that's why that was in. It then continues on up and round, over past all of the Outer Worlds, and then joins in here. So that's actually the main reason why people get on it, to go at the opposite side of the park. This is a pre-built coaster, by the way, the one I've been passing there. It's a Jolly Spinner. It's one of the pre-built ones in the game. We didn't make this. We just placed it down and thought, oh, well, it might be alright. And it's not too bad. It's made money, it's made some profit, but it's not nowhere near some of the ones that we've made. Anyway, that's Monorail Original. You see there's a lot of people on it. We've got 48 in the queue, which is good. We have Monaco Rail, who, well, they have a different route. It goes on the right hand side and sort of swerves round and basically goes to the opposite side of the park. Getting that in as a retrofit was a nightmare. Honestly, putting that in after the fact was something I wouldn't attempt again. In fact, when we made our new park, we specifically earmarked some areas. This is where the monorail goes. We're not going to build it now, but that's where the monorail will go. Obviously, the most important ride in the game, we have the miniature railway, which sadly has still not made us money because it's been a recent, constructed in October year 10. We're currently in, I don't know what year we're in now actually. Does it actually say? It will say somewhere, I'm sure. Finances? January 15, yeah. So it's only 5 years old, this thing, but there you go. It's yeah, it's a miniature railway, so you can actually pay to be on the front as well. So there's Elizabeth, who obviously really likes this thing, likes to be on. Whoops! Oh no, sorry. Oh, sorry, Liz. I've just picked them up rather than follow them. Yeah, but that is the track. It goes underneath and around here and up and around. It's a nice serene thing. If I built that originally, probably over on the right, it would probably made more money, but there you go. We have here we go. So this is Bob, because a friend liked the idea of, you know, the game saying I really like Bob, and Bob was extreme, and yeah, you get where this is all going. So it's quite an extreme coaster, and this is sedate compared to the original building. Once again, it's a high excitement, medium intensity, low nausea rating. We managed to get to extreme intensity, I think, and excitement was really high and stuff. So people were going on it, but they weren't really liking it. It was having inversions, it was got corkscrews, all that sort of thing. We're going to follow it now, so we can see it's coming up. It's still, you know, it's okay. People are still going on it. This is Ruth Cannon, who really likes this coaster as well, and they are now heading up. It's a ride that I think took 2 or 3 goes, and I think at one point it was better than this. We edited it and got it to a really good rating, and then couldn't leave alone, and then had to just mess around with it again, and ended up with, well, this thing here, which is just okay. But then again, it has made 14 grand profit, so it's okay. Nice and smooth there, lovely smooth curves around that, and there again, and that's smooth as well. A little bit sharp on that front, and then it sort of stops here. Sadly, if it was a little bit sort of short, it would probably get round there, and this is where we had a couple of loops in, but we had to stop that. But there's the curves round, people are screaming, go around that side, really close to the observation tower to take the legs off, and then they go there. Job done. We have our observation tower here, which you can alter these, so if you like close that, you can alter the height of it. Oh no, there's not enough space. It looks like that's as high as it can go. Oh well, we'll just have to leave it at that. We have a fairly out of the way top spin ride over here, which I often see those at carnivals and stuff, and it's just, I don't know, the forces involved on those bearings just makes me shudder a little bit. We have the please rename, because, well, we haven't renamed it. It's a high, very high and low nausea coaster, and it's a water coaster, so it's all about the water. So we'll probably follow it again. This is again something relatively new. It's currently on total profit of minus 5,600 because it was only made in January year 12, so it's only 3 years old, and quite frankly it's not overly popular, but apparently Philip Hayes really wants to go on it, so we'll see. They've really liked top spin and had loads of pizza and bubble tea, so that's good. You can see the experience is took a rest, went on the go-karts, wave swinner, turkey legs, yeah, and whatnot. Also entered Bob and entered Top Scan. Okay, so let's see what happens. So we'll check out the ratings here, and we can see it sort of comes up. It's all like sort of framework and gantries, the thing. It's like quite sparse there and whatnot, and it's going to come to the top and sort of free-flowing now, and that's quite a big drop, and splash, and then it comes up and round and curves round. I would have thought that would have been far too harsh, but apparently it's not too bad. You spend, I think, the majority of time on this coaster just going clickety-clack up the coaster to another level, which is yeah, not ideal. You want probably a lot more. It's quite tall, but there's not much payoff. It's all build and no payoff really. In fact, what did I say it was? It's a high excitement, very high intensity, but it's low nausea, which is good. So that's the main thing. So, yeah, it's going to come round. I've just realised they've got like a pug backpack on. I don't know where they've bought that. I'm assuming it's one of our stands. And there's the rain. So, the immersion and stuff is going to go down. And here we go. It's almost vertical at that point, and then splash, and then that's the payoff. That's the one you want. It's that big one all the way around, and then quite frankly, it just goes in. So there's not much going on there. This was one of the ones that we'd never used, and we thought we'd test it. This is another area for like souvenirs and brollies. As you can see, the umbrellas there. People are going to charge towards it and pick that up as soon as it starts raining. So I'm guessing we've made bank on that thing. Total profit is only 12 quid, so no, not a huge amount of money, but there you are. That bin is full. I should probably hire another janitor with that one. Let's hire that person and get them sorted. This is where we realised that building trash chutes around the place was desirable, which is what we've got going there. We've got another spinny thing, that's the jumper. And then over to here. So this is Fran, and we have another coaster here, and it is a... What type of coaster is this? Oh, it's a launched coaster. So you can see we've got at the front here Larry, who is going to be probably a little bit overcooked as they go around, but we're going to follow them there. Fran is a very high excitement, high intensity, so it's extreme intensity, medium nausea coaster. It launches it full send, bones mend, let's go, as it goes around there, and then it's just spirals. I originally had loads of inversions, and actually did I have inversions? I don't know if I had inversions on this one. I don't know if you can, but it certainly had more loops. So there's the first loop, there's the second loop, and then originally it came back, and I thought, no, I'm going to edit that so it spends more time on the corners, but I think I was sensible by making it curve round. You can see it banks right over, so the curves, oh, that's sharp, but a lot of it's very banky, so it's not bad. And actually, have you noticed that the intensities went down? I think the intensity can change based on weather and the amount of people on there, because if there's more people, it might go faster. I'm just assuming that. I don't actually know if that's true or not, but yes, we're now on a very high excitement, very high intensity, medium nausea coaster, but also decoration high. I'm not too sure how I've done that. We're gonna keep an eye on this one because it's good to see it go. So let's just keep an eye on this, because it's just grab on the launcher, and if you're at the back, you're gonna get massive whiplash, and it just goes 0 to I think it's 100. I think it's 112 kilometers, and you can set it higher than that, and then it just goes round and round, and there you go. Pretty good. We also have a couple of other attractions in here, like we've got like the motion simulators and all of your typical stuff. And yeah, that's basically it. This is, like I say, what we built over the course of about maybe 10 or 12 hours. I don't exactly know the total amount, but yeah, that's what we've made, and very much had a lot of fun doing all of that. Lots of mistakes made, lots of learning. Our second park that we're currently on is a lot better, a lot well designed, and it just looks a lot better as well. And we are taking into account the type of area that we're at. But yeah, that is a bit of Parkitect. As I said, this is a bit of a rambly show and tell, but I thought you might want to see what we've created, and well, that's what this is. I was going to build a coaster, but quite frankly, we're already getting a bit long for that. The way you make it is, I'll just have a brief overview. It's very similar to be honest, if you played Planet Coaster, and I guess more specifically Roller Coaster Tycoon, you get the idea. So you place in something like, say, this hyper coaster, and then you get all of these options for buildings. So you can build like all of that, and then you want to go, say, up with a chain, and then you build that, and then you go back to straight, and then you can curve it round, and then you start to drop it, and that's how you would go ahead and build it. So it's actually very, very simple to build once you get used to it. It just does take quite a while to get the ratings correct and such. And obviously you've got things like blueprints and terraforming, the blueprints where you can save different things. Some of them are pre-built in the game. So for example, we can go over to the hyper coaster there and just load in, say, hyper racer, which is 21 grand, and I can just say, you know, oh, we'll have a hyper racer, and yeah, there it goes, and it's going to spend 22 grand because it's going to edit it and maybe crash the game. Nope, no, it's just taking a while. And there's our hypercoaster. So this is something that's been made by somebody else, and it's just pre-made. And you can see, if you want to spend time colouring and making all of these, then it's got a huge toy box here. There's loads and loads of parts, and you can spend a lot of time to make something that is really, really good. Outdated values because we haven't tested it, but it's extreme intensity, high nausea, extreme excitement, high intensity, very low nausea with medium decoration. I would have thought it'd been more with that, but there it is. Either way, that has been a bit of Parkitect. Like I said, hope you have enjoyed this little chill video of going around and seeing what we've messed up, but hopefully it's been a bit fun, and if you want to see more of the game, let me know. I've been very much enjoying it, would love to feature it if there is the desire to see more of it, specifically the building as well. But I'd like to know your comments and feedback, what you think of the park, what you think we could have done better, what we could have changed, any suggestions and tips you have for the game. But either way, hope you have enjoyed it. Hopefully it's been a chill one for you. Thanks very much for watching. Comments in the comments. Take care, and generic partings.